So as we all know, headphones have become an integral part of our day-to-day lives. And it's kind of cool because the technology has been around, I don't know, 60 years or something like that. It's been around quite some time, but it's just become more and more and more popular. I mean, the Sony Walkman was hugely popular back in the day, and all of the different variants, so you could listen to your music while you're walking down the street and stuff like that. And let's be honest, the quality wasn't great coming out of those headphones, but you could listen to your music. But since then, the headphone market has exploded even more, and nobody probably thought it would, but it definitely has. As you can see, I've got several different headphones on this table right now, and I personally use kind of 3 different pairs of headphones as sort of my quote-unquote day-to-day drivers. I've got my DT770 Pros here from Bear Dynamics. I use these wired when I'm editing and just kind of if I want to sit down and have a nice wired experience for whatever I'm doing. I really like those. But if I want to go wired and noise canceling, I have my Sony WH-1000, or maybe it's WH-1000X MX4s, or whatever the nomenclature is. It's the MX4 version of these Sonys, and I really like these. They're super comfortable. The noise canceling works, and once I got the EQ the way I wanted, I really like the way they sound. I thought out of the box they didn't sound that great, but I really like these. These are really nice headphones I really enjoy. But if I want to go for earbuds, I am now rocking these, the Technics EAH AZ60s. I reviewed these just a few months ago, and quite frankly, I really enjoy listening to content on these. They've got noise canceling built in. I just like the sound quality. I like them a lot. But those are just my daily drivers, and I've got some other headphones here as well. Now, why am I talking to you about this? Mainly because over this past week, or just a few days ago, I should say, Value Electronics did their first annual headphone shootout. And that's kind of a big deal in my book. Now, a lot of you probably have heard of Value Electronics because they do an annual television shootout, and they've been doing that for years. That's actually how I first heard about Value Electronics, was through their TV shootout, and I look forward to it every year and watching the coverage and stuff like that. Well, now they've started a headphone shootout, and I think it's really cool because it's just showing you how much headphones have progressed in that. Now, not only are they more popular, but they are higher quality. So much so that audiophiles, swear by them. And so Value Electronics did a shootout with a few people known in the industry. I wasn't there, but I do definitely want to give them a shout out because a year ago or so, I went to Value Electronics, and Robert and his family, they were super nice, super cool. So definitely stop by if you get a chance, or order something from their website. I'll put a link in the description below. But in this video, I just want to give a quick recap of what happened in the shootout, the models that they reviewed and who won the different categories. So let's get to it. So there were 6 different reviewers reviewing 18 different headphones across 5 categories. And the categories were really based on price of the headphones. So there were 2 in-ear groups, and there were 3 over-the-ear groups, and the price ranged from $149 all the way to $17.99. Now, these reviewers were ranking the headphones from 1 to 10 in 5 different categories. The first category was dynamic range. The second was tonal balance. The third was clarity and detail. The fourth was soundstage/imaging. And the fifth was comfort. And then all the scores were added up and averaged to give an overall score. So that's pretty much what they did. And I have to say, I kind of like some of the models they have here, and I kind of like what they did. So let's talk about the first category, and I'm actually going to start at the bottom and work my way to, the $17.99 area. So the first category was in-ear from $149 to $199. They had 2 entrants in this category, the Sennheiser IE200s, and they have the Technics EAH AZ60s, which I have right here, and I like them, so it was nice to see them in the shootout as well. But I have to say that the Sennheiser IE200s actually won this shootout with an overall score of 6.8, while the Technics had a score of 6.1, and it pretty much won all the way across the board with everything, including comfort. So just if you're in the if you're looking at both of these both of these inner headphones, it sounds like the Sennheisers are the way to go, but they are a little bit different because the Sennheisers are wired and these are wireless. So I don't know if anybody's really cross shopping them, but anyways, I just thought that's interesting. The next category was another in-ear category from $279 to $299. Had 3 entrants: the Bose Quiet Comfort 2s, the Bowers & Wilkins PI5 S2s, and the Sony WF-1000X M4s. So that's what was in this category. And again, the Sony actually won these with score of 8.4. Now, the Bose Quiet Comfort 2s did score better in comfort, but otherwise the XM4s actually won that particular category. Now we're going to move up to the over-ear category from $349 to $399, and they had 5 entrants in this category: the Bose 700s, the Bowers & Wilkins PX7 S2s, the Sennheiser Momentum 4s, the Sony WH-1000X M5s, and the Technics EAH A800. It's kind of hard to say. But the Bowers & Wilkins PX7 S2s actually won this particular category with an overall score of 8, and it won pretty much across the board, but the Sennheiser Momentum 4s actually won for dynamic range with a score of 8 over 7.8 for the Bowers & Wilkins. So that's pretty interesting. Now, the next category is from $699 to $799, and again, we have over-the-ear headphones. There are 4 headphones in this particular lineup: the Bowers & Wilkins PX8, the Denon AAH D5200, the Focal Batiste, and the Sony MDR Z7M2s. And the Focal Batiste actually won this particular category with an overall score of 8.4, and it won every category with the exception of comfort. The Bowers & Wilkins PX8 actually took that particular score, did a little bit better with a score of 8.3 versus the Batiste 7.8. But I want to take a pause here for a second and say I actually have the Batiste right here. I'm actually in the middle of reviewing those, so definitely hit that subscribe button if you want to see my review of these particular headphones. Should be out in, I don't know, week and a half, something like that. I really need to start shooting this particular video, but that's that category. And the last and final category is from $14.99 to $17.99. There were 4 models in this particular range: the Denon AH D9200s, the Focal Clear MGs, the Sennheiser HD 800s, and the Sony MDR Z1Rs. And there's actually a tie in this particular category between the Focal Clear MGs and the Sony MDR Z1Rs. They both have an overall score of 8.6. Now, the Focal Clear MGs actually won in 3 categories: dynamic range, tonal balance, and clarity and detail. But the Sony MDR Z1Rs actually won in soundstage and imaging and comfort. So that's the overall how this actually shook out. And I kind of like the way they kind of have these and how they kind of show the score, so you can kind of pick what's most important to you, or the few categories that are most important to you, and pick a headphone that works for you in your price category. Now, they didn't review every single headphone that's out there, because that would have probably taken days, because there are so many headphones out there, but they hit a lot of the popular ones that audiophiles are looking for. So that's really cool. Hopefully we will see this again next year, and they'll have different headphones, and maybe 1 or 2 of these will be the same, but hopefully they'll have different headphones. I don't know. I haven't talked to Robert about it, but it's really cool to see that headphones are just coming of age. And so now there's a shootout for them that, again, hopefully will be annual, and we'll get to pick the best headphones, and, you know, based on your budget, what really works for you. So thank you, Robert Zahn. And also I want to give a shout out to Shane Lee, because he put together just a shortcut version on his YouTube channel. So I will put a link to that in the description below, because he did actually cover their event, and he was one of the reviewers as well. So I want to give a shout out to him. But again, I will put those links in the description below. And if you want to purchase anything, and I'll put some links to some of these headphones in the description below as well. If you're going to purchase any of these headphones, again, you can pick them up in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you next time.